let's keep in mind that Coetzer can be hit, does bleed. If he gets past a couple of rounds, it could be a long, tough fight.
Round one begins. Riddick Bowe exceptionally relaxed, even playful in the ring in the minutes before the fight. That could be good, George, or it could mean that he hasn't taken the task seriously enough.
I think it's the latter. He's like a little baby. You look at his face and you got to fall in love with Riddick Bowe. But believe me, tonight, he's in against a real fighter.
No love match as Pierre Coetzer comes straight forward, and incidentally, after a pre-fight battle over the question of what kind of gloves would be worn, they eventually settled on the ones that Riddick Bowe favored. Reyes gloves rather than Everlast's. They are known as puncher's gloves. They are particularly devastating against fighters who cut easily, and that is one of Coetzer's weak points.
Hey, don't hit. Come on, come on, come on.
For weeks now, Bowe has been promising that Coetzer would take an early nap.
Get off that neck, Coetzer. Get off that neck. Come on.
He told us in a meeting yesterday that he trains for 12 rounds, but this is one night when he will definitely be hoping to score an early knockout. If he doesn't get it, how much frustration might ensue?
This isn't the Coetzer I've seen in the past. He starts off normally a little quicker and a little more vicious.
Coetzer may have started cautiously because he knows about the powerful overhand right-hand punching of Riddick Bowe. He may want to feel that blow just a few times, George, to gauge it before he decides how much he wants to rush in.
He's definitely added a little smartness to that toughness he's got.
Left hook by Coetzer, goes to the body with the left. Bowe firing the jab, and there's the overhand right. Just missed.
And I think Coetzer was waiting on that just to taste it a little bit. Then here I come.
I think you're right. Now Coetzer knows what he wants to do and begins to press forward. He will make himself a target for Bowe. And those who believe that Bowe is going to score the spectacular knockout point to that as the reason why. Coetzer doesn't have a lot of head movement. He is not a safety-first fighter.
This is the most I've seen.
Good straight right hand. Left hook just missed for Bowe. Now the right hand lands. And again, two right hands by Bowe. Coetzer with another left hand, and Bowe lands the right twice more. We've got a first-round brawl, and Pierre Coetzer is getting hit too much.
Got hit in the face with a good left hook that time.
They're both trading shots here, George.
It's not one-sided.
Uppercut for Bowe, left hook for Coetzer. And what a last minute of round one. Begins. Will they pick up the tempo the way they left off in the last minute of round one?
I think the pushing and shoving sure favors Bowe because he's weighing so much more than Pierre Coetzer.
It could tire Coetzer out if he has to continually have Bowe leaning on him.
Coetzer is doing something he definitely doesn't like to do. Just move backwards.
Good left by Coetzer. Now Bowe backs up and comes back with a left hook of his own. Left hand shot by Bowe. Wobbled Coetzer. Bowe comes in and tries to throw the right. More pushing and shoving in the center of the ring. Coetzer breaks away with a left and a right. They are landing a lot of punches. These are clean shots.
I'm afraid Bowe just doesn't believe this guy's for real.
Already there's some blood right by the right nostril of Pierre Coetzer. And you saw Alan Tawil, his trainer, looking carefully at the left eye between rounds, waiting to see if any puffiness had developed there. Coetzer has a lot of long fights. He likes to wear opponents down, and there is always blood on the canvas.
And believe me, the fight is going just the way Pierre Coetzer wanted. He's accustomed to going 9 rounds.
He's accustomed to wars. They are not boxing matches. Hard right hand shot by Bowe, and another, and Coetzer's in serious trouble. Now Pierre Coetzer tries to react.
premises.
I agree. Too much power in Bowe's right hand. Especially in the early going. Pierre want to neutralize it. He better go right to the body.
And begin moving side to side, which isn't his game.
Not his game at all.
Long right hand by Coetzer, who appears to think that he may need a knockout to ward off Bowe. You see the right hand snapping Coetzer's head around whenever Bowe lands it.
Sometimes when you're in there like that, when a guy hits you, you just don't believe it. Coetzer just don't believe this guy can hit that hard.
Grady, we're here at the Mirage headquarters for Friday night's heavyweight championship fight. Let's pick up the call on HBO. Going ringside, the Jim Lampley and Company.
I have two thoughts after that round. The first is perhaps the most sensational thing that happened was that Bowe split his trunks all the way down in the back. And the second thing is Bowe has never been in a long, really hard, tough fight. And if he's not in shape, we'll find out. If this guy can last it.
Yes, he lands 3 of those right hands in a row, in which case he may give Coetzer the nap he says he would give it. What are we going to say, George?
I think Riddick Bowe, if he can just keep leaning on him with that heavy weight, he can make this fight go the way he wants to, just on his left jab. And he's got to stop mixing it up. Pierre Coetzer is tough and mean.
You see the guts of Pierre Coetzer. He has felt that right hand and just keeps coming back. The crowd oohing and eyeing after the uppercut that snapped Coetzer's head back. Every time Bowe lands the heavy right hand, Coetzer's head bobs around as though he's a rag doll. But every time Pierre straightens up and comes back.
I think thus far, Bowe has demonstrated a lot more courage than I had given him credit for. Courage to go with skill.
Well, courage in fighting with those short split all the way down the back.
It's a new style.
If this is a 12-round fight, our audience will see things they've never seen before, even on HBO. An area that Larry Holmes once made reference to.
The thing about a fight when you train a long time, you get to sparring with too many guys, and you get into the fight and you end up sparring.
Another right hand. And if you wind up with a sparring match here, whom does that favor?
You favor the Pierre Coetzer. Because he's doing what he want to do. He just want to go 12 rounds, knock you out maybe in the 10th round or the 11th round, but he knows he's not going to get a first, second round knockout. Now, Bowe is giving him unnecessary courage that may cost him the rest of the fight.
And Bowe's giving him opportunities that he doesn't have to give it.
And Pierre Coetzer is not a fake. He's real.
They do have diamonds in South Africa.
Well, one problem for Coetzer, guys. The left eye is starting to close up already. Those right hands have done a job on Pierre Coetzer's left eye. Oh, an uppercut that just wailed onto Coetzer's chin. But look at him stand there and take it.
Coetzer starting to jab with the back of his glove. I'm surprised the referee hasn't stopped in to warn him a little bit about that.
Right hand just missed.
Come on, let's go. It's rock time.
Now, at what point will it be hard for Coetzer to see the right hand coming, George?
I think that Coetzer's fought under these circumstances so often that it's not going to bother him. It's about Bowe. Can he stay? I think the only thing that's going to keep him energized is the closing of that eye. It's going to give him energy round after round.
Look at the left hands by Coetzer. Oh, what a demonstration of will and courage already. I mean, we're only in the 4th round, and this guy is just a masterpiece of fighter's will.
I've said all along, Rock Newman, probably the best guy in the world, but the best manager, he's matching a baby with a little over his head.
So Bowe's going to learn something here, even if he wins the fight.
He's going to learn too much. He's a great guy. Anyone deserves to be champion of the world. He's one of them.
Punch that, come on, punch that, 2 hands.
Because of his talent?
Because of his talent and because of his love for mankind. Pierre Coetzer, hey, this guy's a great, wonderful fella. He loves Joe Louis, loves Joe Frazier. He's imitating those guys when he fights.
He wishes.
Not much we have to tell you about this. I mean, it's fairly obvious what's happening here. Two guys trading shots at close range.
Good body punch by Bowe. That hurt Coetzer.
Backhand, you take him up. Come on, come on.
That would be a new tactic for Bowe to go to the body. Ooh, just missed with a wild right.
Normally, when heavyweights fight, you only see them land this many punches in the movies. I rarely have seen two big men like this wail away on each other for this long.
Believe me, you won't see it much more. I think the Bowe's left jab, if he would keep it up, the referee and the judges are going to have to stop this fight on the cut.
Well, this is the kind of fight that everybody wants to see Evander Holyfield have against a real contender. So no matter who wins tonight, you've got to look ahead to November 13 with some excitement.
Now, Bowe ran his first right hand to the chest this time. That could cost Pierre Coetzer later on.
30 seconds to go in round 4. Here, Coetzer's left eye becoming a bloody mess. It's happened before. It's not the first time in his career. He's fought through it and won many times. But maybe never against a guy as big and quick and talented as Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Bowe get past this fight. Believe me, nothing can stop him from becoming champion of the world.
So you're picking him to beat Holyfield, huh?
No doubt in my mind. But I don't pick him to win this fight tonight.
Along with the champ and the would-be champ, we are taking a look at the fight that catapulted Riddick Bowe into Friday night's heavyweight championship of the world. And Riddick, we've now seen 4 rounds of your July fight against Pierre Coetzer. You've probably taken more shots in that fight than all your previous fights combined because you elected to slug it out. Now, were you saying anything there? Were you trying to prove to the critics that Riddick Bowe does have heart?
Well, I think I was trying to prove to the people that I could take a punch and I can dish it out and what have you. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should have just boxed there. But I think I got my point across.
Riddick, you have a good, powerful right hand. But Pierre Coetzer kept moving to your left. Did you find it difficult to reach him with that right hand?
It was difficult at some points, and maybe perhaps that's why the right hand wasn't as effective as it should have been. But I think eventually I caught up with him.
Riddick Bowe versus Pierre Coetzer. Let's go back to more action in the fight.
Both eyes now cut and bleeding for Pierre Coetzer. Riddick Bowe's landed 49% of 106 jabs so far in the fight. You say it's a devastatingly effective jab, George.
Harold, how quickly, how do you have the fight?
Larry, 40-36, 4 rounds to nothing. Riddick Bowe winning it on the big right hand. Every time he throws that right hand, I go ouch.
Well, but Coetzer doesn't go out, as far as I can see.
Doesn't go out and doesn't go out.
I gave him the 3rd round incidentally.
Pierre Coetzer is moving to Bowe's left. It's like I'm inviting you to throw your big left hook.
Because of the punishment he's taken, or maybe because of the problem with eyesight, Coetzer's punch output is beginning to slow down. There's a 3-punch combination, but there have been fewer and fewer of those as the bout has gone on.
Believe me, losing blood anywhere in your body starts to weaken you a little bit, especially when you're with a big guy like that. But they are the guys trying to trim down and look like weightlifters are gone in boxing. Believe me, it's just not going to get it anymore.
And at this point, every time he separates them, Mills Lane peers into Coetzer's eyes to see how bad it is. Coetzer. Bowe responds with his own jab and follows with the right hand, just missing. Now Coetzer with a right hand to the chest.
Coetzer corner should tell him to pour it on now to make the referee and the doctor stop looking at his eyes. Go for it. You've come too far away from home to have this thing stopped on the cut.
That's right. So he needs to create the impression that he's still willing and ready to fight.
That's right. Bowe's a fantastic fighter.
Good uppercut by Bowe. Coetzer just stands there and throws back.
Why hasn't he knocked him out, hitting him so many clean, hard shots, George?
Coetzer, he's on he's destined to give a good fight. He's representing his country here. As a new South Africa. He's got to stand up.
I mean, Bowe, you're saying Coetzer is just that tough?
Yeah, he's got to step tough. He's got a new country to represent. He wants to leave a good image for everybody. There's a free South Africa, Mandela South Africa.
And incidentally, as a final postscript on all the apartheid nonsense, you need only spend 5 minutes with Pierre Coetzer and Alan Tawil to recognize that these guys would never have been supporters of that policy.
Not at all. This is a lovely guy who loves everybody. But let me tell you, Riddick Bowe is a damaging hard right-hand puncher.
Oh! And a left. And finally, Coetzer backs up. Lane took another glance.
Pierre Coetzer is not seeing good out of that right eye at all. He's just at the mercy of his skills.
Well, frankly, George, this is a little bit the way you looked toward the end of the Stewart fight. But you don't remember that.
I resent that remark.
And as the eyes close up, Bowe's connect percentage rises. It's like a snowball going downhill. Bowe delivering more and more punishment. Coetzer in more and more trouble as he tries to respond.
Yes, and I want to report from the Punk's standpoint, he's showing more and more cheek in this fight.
It is a cheeky effort, no question about it. Oh, what a right hand by Coetzer in close.
There should always be an extra pair of trunks in the house for these big guys.
Well, where would he go to take these off and put those on, though?
Penthouse wouldn't matter.
It wouldn't matter to Penthouse. It might matter to HBO. What the heck.
Now Bowe is trying to relax and pace himself and take a break mid-fight. But if you end up giving Pierre Coetzer a little courage, it can be rocky from this point on.
Well, you showed remarkable courage against Alex Stewart. We were all impressed and breathtaken by it. This guy's doing the same thing.
He's got lots of courage, and it's a compliment to his trainers and the people who believe in him.
He's from your fraternity, George.
Give it all you got. Good right hand by Pierre Coetzer.
He's thrown a couple of them.
Bowe's left jab is working like magic now.
Low blow by Bowe, followed by a right hand to the chin. Tough call for Mills Lane. He was going down from the low blow, and Bowe rocked him with the right hand shot to the side of the head.
Didn't look like a low blow to me. It just
Wait a minute, he's taking a point away from Bowe. Mills Lane has taken a point away from Bowe. That is, he has not scored that as a knockdown.
Well, we'll see on the replay, George. I'm pretty sure it was a low blow, but you may be right.
It definitely was a low blow.
The thing the referee told him to stop. That's what he did wrong.
You think about Evander Holyfield against Kevin Barry in the Olympics in 1984. Harold Letterman.
Bowe just came over to us to say, it was accidental, so he is confirming the fact that it was a low blow.
Jim, the rule in this situation is that Pierre Coetzer has a reasonable amount of time to continue. Otherwise, he loses on a disqualification. Greg Newman challenged a reasonable amount of time. The Nevada State Athletic Commission says 5 minutes. At the end of 5 minutes, if Pierre Coetzer cannot continue, he loses the fight on a TKO. You can't win on a low blow.
All right, let's look at the replay now. There's the punch.
All right.
And you can see it was down around Tierra del Fuego. It was a very low blow, and then he followed it with a right hand. And Mills Lane, as usual, has handled the situation with perfect calm and judgment.
So now Coetzer has a reasonable period of time, and he deems himself recovered. And goes back to work against Riddick Bowe. And the crowd cheers for Mills Lane as well as for Pierre Coetzer.
Coetzer threw a good left hook that time, but it didn't seem to hurt Bowe.
Gentlemen, Pierre Coetzer has never been knocked out. How he is going to make it all the way through this is hard to see for the moment. Maybe as hard to see from our vantage point as it is hard for him to see the punches coming from the gloves of Riddick Bowe. Comes to a close. And once again now, Alan Tawil goes to work on Pierre Coetzer while Nevada State Athletic Commission doctors peer in from both sides.
Let's go back to more action in the fight.
Riddick Bowe's trainer, incidentally, hasn't gotten a mention so far. Maybe because he's one of the quietest men in the sport. Riddick calls him Papa Smurf, 80-year-old Eddie Futch.
All right, here we go. Time in. Let's go. Come on.
Eddie Futch. What a trainer.
A guy who once sparred with Joe Louis.
And Riddick says that he is intensely aware of his position as potentially the very last heavyweight champion for Eddie Futch. He doesn't want to let him down.
In the same way that Mike Tyson was the last champion developed by Customato.
Bowe's got such an excellent left jab. You wonder why he's starting to use it only just now.
Through 31 jabs in round 6, according to punch stat numbers, George, and landed 20 of them. So he has been accurate with it when he has used it.
He's going to have a rough time pushing his corner, convincing the Nevada State doctors that that eye is okay.
Yeah, particularly for 6 more rounds.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to stand for much more of that. This is a real protective state. They really care about the boxer.
It helped you that you were judged to be ahead in the fight at the time that your eyes were in the kind of trouble they were in against Stewart. This guy is clearly losing the fight. That doesn't help him.
My eyes were never cut.
No, they were just swollen. That's right.
They just look like a mass and a mess. Chopped livers.
That's right. You didn't have the eyelid cuts that he has.
No, there weren't any cuts. Just pain.
Say they look immaculate now.
Ooh, that uppercut has been the most devastating punch of this whole fight by Riddick Bowe.
He'll get a chance to throw that uppercut against Holyfield on November 13th.
Let me tell you, Riddick Bowe is on his way to becoming the next heavyweight champion of the world. So if he can get by Pierre Coetzer today. Ooh, a good left hook by Pierre Coetzer. Hurt Bowe. Bowe is hurt.
And there's
Bowe is hurt again.
He's holding on.
He is indeed. Wobbling and holding on. Now let's see if Coetzer knows it and can do anything about it.
Bowe is hurt constantly with his left hook.
Get him up.
Well, Coetzer couldn't do anything with it. Bowe's beginning to get his legs back right now.
He's just so big.
Get that elbow down.
Bowe is really holding on, though.
He has the biggest body of any of the young heavyweight contenders. Riddick is tall, but not as heavy through the thighs and the belly and the chest as Riddick Bowe.
Riddick Bowe has been hurt, and his corner should let him shout, use your jab, and stay back a little bit.
Oh, uppercut again. Coetzer in serious trouble. Mills Lane, one punch away from stopping it, and there it is.